Okay, now I'm just going to walk you through how I might start a research project looking for cases on a particular issue. So here I am at the main page, and I'm going to start by typing in my query in plain English. Can an employee be fired for refusing to break the law? Before I run it, I'm going to change the databases I'm searching in. I'm in California, and I'm primarily interested in California law and in federal cases based on California law. So I'm just going to unclick all federal, change it to California, and save it. And now I'm going to run it. Now remember, the way we have Westlaw set up, it takes you to an overview. You can change that, but this is our default. We're interested in cases in this video, so I'm going to go to cases over here on the left. And before I start looking at these cases, I'm going to change this sorting right here. Right now it's sorted by relevance, and you're kind of relying on the computer to guess what it is you're asking it. I'm going to change that to most cited. Now I'm asking the computer to show me the cases that other cases have cited the most. Here they are sorted with the most cited case at the top. And one of the things you'll learn doing this research, and you might already know it if you've started with secondary sources, is that this kind of action, where you sue an employer because he fired you for refusing to break the law, is called a Tammany action. So look at the name of this very first case, Tammany. Here I can see an employee brought an action against an employer alleging that he was wrongfully discharged for refusing to participate. Okay, now I've got the case open, and I'm just going to show you a couple of the things I do in a case to help me find other cases. Now, the first thing you want to do is check the negative treatment. You can see right up here there's a yellow flag saying this case declined to follow the decision in Tammany. The odd thing here is that this was an Arkansas case, so you would think they would only list a California case up here. It doesn't really matter to you that this court decided not to follow Tammany, because Tammany is still controlling in California. I did go in and read, and basically it had to do with the nature of the cause of action. As you can see right here, the Tammany court said that this could be handled as a tort cause of action, whereas in this Sterling drug case, the Arkansas court said, no, not tort, it's a contract cause of action. You will want to go into negative treatment and look at the cases that are from California and see if any of them are going to affect how you use Tammany in your argument. The main thing I do is I'm going to scroll down to the headnotes. You can see there's not too many, but there's two that seem to deal specifically with this issue. And in headnote number 5, there are 2 key numbers, and it's the second one that's relevant. So I'm going to go right here. And you can see over here's the breakdown. The key number for this headnote is 782. The topic is labor and employment. But if I look at 781, this is the hierarchy of the topic. Refusal to engage in wrongdoing, and that's exactly what I'm interested in. If I look at this one, there's 781, and this is specifically under 783, particular types of particular cases in general. Now, I can click on any of these and go see other cases under that same key number. So I'm going to just click on 781. Now I'm in the key number system, and I'm in refusal to engage in wrongdoing, and you can see there are a bunch of cases here, and if I have this set correctly, I have California cases and federal courts in California applying California law. It just so happened the case was brought in federal court. So I'm going to check all of these. There's, I forget how many here. Let's keep scrolling. Okay, and there's another page. So there are 36 total cases under the key number 781. But one thing I want to do is I'm going to go up here to the breadcrumbs and go to this right here. Don't be afraid to click around. Sometimes you have to click around a little bit to find what you're looking for. But I'm going to go there, and here it brings me to a breakdown of the topic in that particular part of the topic. So here is 781, refusal to engage in wrongdoing. And you can see that it has 5 more key numbers under it, so they are narrower in focus than the refusal to engage in wrongdoing. And so each one of these I can click on and see what other cases have one of these key numbers in their head notes. So for example, particular cases in general, which was in head note number 5 in Tammany, can see there's 4 cases including Tammany. And let's just look at one more, 784, protected activities. And so I have 5 more cases. And you'll notice the first 3 are, is it 3? No, first 4 are the 5. They're all 5 from the same case. And that's just because that means that it's in more than one. Now, another thing I can do to use this case to find more cases on point is to use the citing references. Now this video is particularly about cases, so I'm just going to go straight into the cases that are citing references. You can see there are 1,164, which is a lot to go through. So hopefully this looks a little familiar, and you remember that there are some filters over here on the left-hand side. And 2 very important ones would be to limit to the state. Let me open that. California. I could open that further if I wanted to and limit myself just to the Supreme Court of California or to a particular district, but I'm not going to do that. The other filter that's most important to me is probably this down here, because remember in California you can't cite to unreported cases, so I'm going to pick just reported cases, and now I'm going to apply the filters. Now I'm down to 259 cases. That's California reported decisions. Now what are the other filters, if you remember? First let me close that. I could use depth of treatment. Maybe I only want to see the cases that have discussed Tammany in some depth. So let me pick depth of treatment. And maybe I want to limit myself to the labor and employment topic. And now apply filters. Now I'm down to 38 cases, and that's a lot easier for me to consult. Now it could be that you found all these cases in the key numbers when you used the head notes. Remember, it was head notes 5 and 6. And I'm just going to take a quick look here. And it looks like they all had head notes 5 or 6 mentioned in them. So the odds are all of these cases were you've already seen. But sometimes you can't be sure. If you wanted to, you could click specify, and you could limit yourself to 4 and 5. So let me undo 6. Okay, so basically we just walked through everything we had done earlier in the other videos, so I hope it helps put it into some context about running a natural language search and then using what you found to find additional cases on point. In the next video, I'm going to show you a few terms